Hey everybody, and welcome on back to Minecraft. Today we are back here in our single player survival world. We are going to be working on our village yet again today. Last episode we came through here and built up this awesome gatehouse. I've been busy in between episodes doing a bunch of work over here and actually getting this pathway in place so that we have, I forgot a slab there. So we have a way to get up to our front gate here, and a few villagers have managed to make their way outside here to join me, which I don't quite know how that one's happening, but, you know, we're going to leave that there for now. And we got our kitty cat following us around over here, defending us from all of the creepers, and it's been pretty awesome. Y'all may notice something a little bit different going on here. We have our sky map back, and I am super happy to say that Optifine is finally in the pre-release stages. By the time you guys are seeing this video, it might be farther on than it currently is. And oh my gosh, I am so happy to have this back. I even went ahead, and if any of you are using Optifine, find yourself using Optifine, definitely a time to be supporting people who very much help us out run the series. So definitely you all should go head over to the Optifine website, and you can actually donate to them and get a cape in game. So you can get, and it can make your elytra look super cool, so you can get a cape. So if you want to get your own cape and you missed all those Minecon ones, definitely feel free to go ahead and do that. But, you know, with that, let's get back into what we're doing for today's episode. I just want to give a big shout out to that guy because he is, I'm so thankful for Optifine being here to improve our Minecraft, allow us to have shaders and all of that good stuff. Today, what we are going to be doing, however, is we are going to be looking at lighting. I'm hoping that today we can get some lighting done inside of our village here so we can make it a lot more defensible and a lot better for ourselves moving throughout. That brings up into question here, there's what blocks do we have available to ourselves as light sources? So let's go ahead and clear this area down here real quick for ourselves and take a look at all of these. Obviously, we have our lantern block here, the new Minecraft 1.14 lighting block. That one is great. And then we have quite a few others. Let me get these laid out here real fast. And here we go. We have every single light source that is possible inside of Minecraft. As far as I'm aware right now, I think I got all of them. Anyways, going down the line here super fast, we have sea pickles, we got torches, lanterns, redstone torch, a cat, jack-o'-lanterns, end rods, glowstone, campfires, beacons, conduits, redstone lamps, only if they're powered on by redstone, ender chests, and fire. I believe that is everything that we have here. I'm getting rid of that fire so that we don't accidentally kill our villagers. But using these, we have a bunch of different ways that we can actually use this to hide stuff and create creative, interesting ways of creating some lighting around side of our world. Now that we've taken a look at all of the different light sources in the game, we got to figure out a few ways that we can hide them around, because we could go with the standard Minecraft format that you see everybody else doing to light up their bases, which is one, count out 5 blocks over and place another torch, count out 5 blocks over and place another torch, and just keep doing that the entire way. But I personally hate torch spam. I hate spamming torches all over the place. So I try and find different ways that we can hide them around the world without being too obtrusive or too crazy. Similar to even like creating lovely lantern or lamp post designs like what we have here in the village, but doing something a bit more interesting looking than that one. So a few designs that we can do here, for example, is we pick out our shovel here. We can throw a glowstone block down and then actually throw a green carpet on top of it. It still stands out quite a bit, but it's a much more concealed than just having a piece of glowstone in the ground, or coming in here and just having a torch sitting on the ground right there, or we'll use a lantern right there, for example, and our cow really likes our lantern. So we have those ones available to us. We can do that. Something else that we can do, though, is you can take a corner of a building here. For example, if we take this one and we say, hey, let's detail out the base of our building a bit more, bring it out to have a bit of extra depth, and you can do that. Trapdoors, since they open and close, Mojang did not put the code into the game, where if the trapdoors close, the light still actually goes out. I think it is going to be nighttime here in a second. So if we took this on all of the different sides of our build here, actually just throwing a piece of glowstone down here on the base and surrounding it, so I guess those ones are underground already. So we'll just go ahead and do this corner here and wait for a quick second for the night to come in. And there we go. All of our villagers are headed off to bed here. And you can see the little bit of light coming out from around the sides of this house here. Way more amount of light, and you can't see the light sources at all within the game. So you can do even things over here like this one, for example. Let's just take a look at it. For a practical use, let's go ahead and jump on over to this guy right here. And we'll just take you, place our glowstone down, fill it in with some trapdoors right like so. And then bam, that area is lit up and everything there is good to go. A few things to note about this, bringing up the F3 screen here, is you can look at on the left hand side, there's client light and server light. Basically, to stop mobs from spawning, we want this to be above 7. So if we come down here, mobs can't spawn right here, but if you come over to this block, they can spawn right here. So we'd have to figure out different ways that we can do this around the entire village. I'm going to mess with a few ideas that I have, creating a few different lampposts that I'll come back and show you all. I've been spending some time adding lighting bits around our area and doing a lot of this, because a lot of things are so far from the roadways that it's pretty much impossible to be able to add in some detailed, interesting lighting bits like our lantern right here, or the lantern on the post, which I love this one a lot. It's super simple. It's very, very nice. Then around some of the houses, I've come in here and added in these bits right there like we were talking about previously, and those all look pretty dandy, but they don't quite do the job perfectly. As the sun is setting here again, we can take a look at our village now to see how all of the light is doing, and I've been kind of using this general guidepost, or this general rock here, as our guide as the night is coming in. And while we're up here, while we're waiting for this sun to set, one thing that I wanted to mention, or two things I want to mention, is one, we can use path blocks as a way of mob spawning. So you see right here, that light level, as far as I'm aware, mobs cannot spawn on path block. I'm going to need to verify that one, so you'll probably see a little bit of text here in the screen saying that. But path block, I think, is something we can use to block mob spawns. And then also we can use half slabs. Half slabs are a great way to block mob spawns because, you know, mobs can only spawn on a full block. So we have that stuff dealt with. So for example, this whole area right down here, completely lit up, perfectly good, and all that good stuff. Then we have this cliff face right here, which we could turn into a stone cliff, which I do want to do anyways. But then we can add in some slabs and stairs and things around that area so we can leave it darker, adding more interest to our world. So if you leave everything just that purely that light color, your nighttime really looks boring. You have a dark sky, then everything down here is light. But here we have interest. So we have this is light and that is dark over there. So if we just bring those in here together, we can actually create something pretty dang cool. So we can do that around. Then these areas back here, I know farmland, mobs cannot spawn on farmland. So I was thinking on the outer edges on the inside, we can get our villager farms in here so they can have something for the farmers to do so they can continue breeding by throwing some farms around the outside. However, as I've been looking around this entire area here, I've been realizing that that skeleton is on the wall. That is not very good. No, but I've been realizing that I really want to redo the layout of this village. I think it's kind of interesting where it's at right now, but I feel like there's something that we could do that would be a lot better than this right now. There's so many other shapes and styles that we can use for the village. So I think next episode we're going to be redoing the entire layout of our village here, keeping in, of course, those original buildings that we've built and the more general shapes of this thing. But I do have a few things I want to redo and touch upon, but that's not going to change the overall outside of the village. So I think what we're going to work on for the rest of today's video, because I don't want to light up this whole area just to come back in afterwards and tear out all the lighting and fix it again. Okay, well, that's not very good. My lighting plan is definitely working very well. Yeah, so what we're going to do now is we're going to work on building up the wall. No, buddy. Maybe we do need to work on that lighting bit, or just sleep through the nights again. One thing I wanted to add real quick on the topic of lighting is that if you go into the complete darkness and go all the way out, you can see right here that we're going to be seeing at this level, light level 15 is going to be our block right there. And then we can see 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, and 7. 7 out here is where mobs are going to start spawning. So let's take a marker right here and turn this into, let's just say, a block of stone. So we can see our block of stone is there at level 7 right there, where our light would be. If we take our light source or sea lantern up here and move it up 1 block, you're actually going to see that that 7 is now 1 block closer. So then if we again say bring this guy up 2 more blocks, we're going to see that that should be right here. So if you guys are trying to use lighting patterns and building street lights and lamps and things like that, be cautious of how high your light source is off of the ground. Because for example, if we take this up another 3 blocks right there, we're going to see that this point right here in the center, it's still at block level 9, but that only covers out to here. So in that area, if the light is that far off of the ground, you're only actually preventing mob spawns in this tiny 3x3 area right there in the center. So just something to be aware of. Well, getting prepared to be able to come in here and build up the wall, I gathered up all of those oak trees we had planted down here, and I think it's causing a bit of lag with all of the sticks and saplings and all of that good stuff hanging out down here. So let's pick these ones up here real fast. But what I was thinking, I want to run this idea by you all, is inside of the village, we want to make sure all of our villagers can farm. However, I don't want the village to end right at the wall. So I was thinking outside the village, also as a form of defense, what if we plant a bunch of large berry fields? Obviously, they've been working very, very well in killing off some sheep, but I was thinking, what if we add some giant berry fields outside of the wall here? Because they're really, really easy to gather up. This is not taking very long to get this many, and we can gather all of those and triple it. So I was thinking if we have like large stretches of berries basically coming out here like an hour or like a big 12-hour clock, basically like analog clock, right? Yeah, that's the word for it. Stretching out the entire village area around the entire thing with a bunch of little pathways and roadways in between them. I think that could be super, super sweet. Now, however, let's take a look at our wall. What I wanted to do was basically bring things up here a little bit further. We do not want to have the logs in the offhand to accidentally mess those up. But what I was thinking is basically we could have like a different variation of height of all these kind of going throughout this way, coming in between like, what's this one? That's 6 blocks tall. We got 5 blocks tall. Then we can do 4, or that's 3. So that was 5 at the top. And then basically I'm thinking we can do something like this throughout the entire thing. And basically just bring it all the way around. Very, very much randomized. No really rhyme or reason to the shape or anything that we're going with for these. We want to make it look very spiky, so maybe we try and not have two going up right next to each other all the time going throughout the entire thing. But we can start with something right there. Then bringing in a little bit of our lovely scaffolding, we can use this to get on top. We can bring in a few oak fences. I was thinking we could have... I'm trying to... Okay, there we go. I'm thinking we can have some oak fences like basically poking up out of the tops of these guys wherever we can. I don't want to have them connected like that across the top, but we might want to. Or we could honestly just say screw it and pop you down there. But that still has that connected texture to it off to the sides. But I think that'll be okay. So we can do this and we can do bam, and we maybe do like a 1 block high one right there. And then we can add some variation to the height of how tall these are going. And bring these all the way across the top here. And basically on the top, and that'll make this mob proof on top of it, so we don't have the skeleton spawning on top of our wall down there like we just had. And this will actually help us add a lot of extra detail and texture variation and everything to this area right there. So what are we looking at with that right across here? You know, that's not too bad. I'd actually be okay with that. What if we came through here and went like every few we stripped the log down? So we can do like something like this. Maybe we do one right there, skip another 2, and bam bam. And then we could do like you, and then like that guy maybe. What's that one looking like now? I like that. That gives it a lot more depth. I think that's really good for it. And then what I was thinking afterwards is we can bring in a bit more of the diorite that we're using right over there. So, you know, this is going to look absolutely amazing in vanilla Minecraft textures. We can come in here and basically just start adding in some blocks of diorite and adding some stairs and slabs and all that good stuff. And maybe we leave a few bits of grassy stuff throughout here. And we can do like a bam, and then like you. And basically stretch these going around the entire area so we can get a cool bit of a plan for how everything can look here. And then we can do like bam, right like that. I'm thinking like these will be basically rocks that'll be holding the wall up on both sides. We'll have this going throughout. And that'll add that slight bit of protection on the inside as well. So we don't have to light up the walls or anything because we're going to have all of these slabs and stairs and things on the outside where mobs cannot spawn, so we're going to have a lot of protection surrounding it. And then on the outside, if we have those berry fields out in front of that as well, oh man, that could look absolutely amazing. Now that's basically the idea for it, let me get this thing stretched all the way down to that gatehouse point right there. And there we have it. This whole first section we did together, then everything else stretching all the way down to our next gatehouse that we still need to build up is completely done. However, one thing that I got super excited with, I've been working on a lot, is figuring out how we can have the cliff face right here, because this was basically just very flat dirt coming all the way down below. I want to figure out a way that we could still incorporate that, keep that cliff face in here, and just add something interesting to it. So I came up with this design. Now the reason why I spent so much time on that one is because if we quickly can come inside over here, and definitely it's very secure, the wall is great, you can't get around it. We have all of these cliff faces right here. Sorry, Kodo has a bone in the background. Somebody just fell off. Oh no, no. Not again, no. Follow me out here. Well, we don't have a bucket. Oh no. Very much no. Let's see if we can't get you to die on the berries. Come on, go on the berries. Not me dying on the berries, you. He's too smart. He's too smart. I need to go get a bucket real fast. All right, the reason for the bucket is purely so that we can just get a cow. We just need to get a cow so that we can... Oh my gosh, this is lagging so much. I don't want to... Don't kill my cow! That's my defense against you. And then we can milk Mr. Cow, please, and get rid of that debuff. We got to figure out a way to stop these guys from spawning because they killed everybody again. Literally because they spawn within, like, relation to the player. And because I'm working over here, they have the ability to spawn right there inside of our village. How is that fair? How are you ever supposed to be able to defend a village without trapping them underground in cells? I thought this update was supposed to be avoiding that. Oh man, guess we're back to breeding up villagers. Alright, now back to what I was talking about. We need to have a way that we can get that same rocky pattern that we have with the diorite stretching all the way across there. And I figured we could actually incorporate these walls into that as well and create a bit of a stony face here and make it a bit more interesting than just this dirt bit. And that'll help us add some texture and add some restriction to how we're setting up the village in the next episode where we're going to be doing the layout. Because if you add these detail bits, in the terrain, it's going to force you to come up with some real creative solutions on how to fit a lot of things into your village. So if we can do this, that'd actually be a great way of forcing ourselves to do like a certain pattern or fill in houses in a certain way. So I think it's going to be a good thing to go around and do this throughout the entire area. So I'm going to get this cliff face in here. Hopefully it won't take too long. I'll be back with y'all as soon as I'm done. And there we go. I think this area is finally actually starting to come together really well. I'm super happy with it. I do want to go grab a few jungle leaves real quick so we can detail it out a bit more and maybe some flowers. So I always love using leaves to decorate, and on the topic of lighting and preventing mob spawns and things like that, leaves are another block that we can use. So we have leaves everywhere. Like on top of full blocks, mobs can't actually spawn on them. They added that in the game way back in beta or alpha or some of the first versions, where previously you would be walking through a forest at night and spiders and creepers and things would be dropping on your head from all the way up above because they were spawning on top of the trees. So they decided way back when that they should probably change that up and allow it so that the mobs wouldn't spawn up there and that players could safely build with leaves and not have to worry about getting dropped on from above, which I think is a fantastic change that a lot of us probably never even knew was a thing way back when. And just by adding a few leaves to the top of this half over there, it feels so much more completed with the flowers in there and everything. So we take this whole thing that used to previously look like that bit right there, adding some leaves, adding a few flowers on there, and it's awesome. And it's almost like 90% mob proof in this area, which is absolutely awesome and I'm super happy about. So we're gonna be all good here, hopefully, with all this stuff. And I'm thinking what I want to do for the rest of the episode is I want to mess around with those designs for adding the berry fields out front. I feel like that's something that we can really take advantage of and do something super sweet with. So I'm gonna spend a bit of time planting some berries out there, see what I can't do, and I'm gonna focus right outside of the wall that we've been working on right now so we can have that area completed up and hopefully defended against the pillagers. I was out here casually planning my very good defense of our city, and another freaking pillager patrol spawned in literally right there, and they killed 3 iron golems that had spawned in our village from our villagers gossiping, and then killed another 5 villagers, and then before I could get them out, and then kill them way out there. Otherwise, if you kill them inside here, instantly a patrol spawns. If anybody has any ideas on how we can do this besides mob proofing this entire area literally with slabs or carpet or bushes or whatever it might be, I don't know. Maybe we just need to get more iron golems in here. But we had 3 iron golems and they could not kill 4 pillagers with crossbows. Now back out to what we're working on. We have our first bit of the berry field going on out here, which I'm super excited about. We can jump on all the way down here, and you can see off of our front gateway right here, which hopefully was supposed to be stopping things from coming in. There's now a pathway leading off to the side throughout here. Then we get out into this vicinity where I'm currently lining out the outside of these berry fields, and so I can kind of gather them as I go throughout. It's really easy to grow this stuff because the berries grow on these plants so freaking fast. This has been less than 5 minutes since all of these are in here, but basically my plan is to completely fill in the interior of them. And then over here I wanted to bring in a strip of this coming around here as well. I think it'll look really sweet, and it'll be a good defense force once we actually get like a full raid. If we accidentally mess up and a raid actually spawns inside of the, or we actually get a raid to spawn from killing one of our pillager patrols, once we have these berry bushes around the outside, they should just die walking into there. which hopefully will be a really, really good defense. So I'm going to get these things filled in and I'll be back. Back again on a lovely scaffolding perch up here. I guess I really, really like this block just for easily being able to get up here. I feel like I don't even... Previously, I would like to use spectator mode and bring my second account in just to look at things from above to see how they look there without having to be flying over via an elytra. But this is almost just as good. Watching all these berries grow up is so freaking cool. I will say, though, I did have to eat about 15 of them because I kept taking damage while trying to place them down, and it's a little painful to be placing all those blocks in here. It was fun, though. One thing I do want to point out here is if anybody wants to copy this sort of a wall design, there's a few no-nos that we want to really, really avoid. This, for example, right here is a no-no, because you can go here, jump up on that, jump up on here, jump up on there, and you're in. That's not a very great wall because a mob could probably figure that out if they really wanted to. And then this one over here as well is a no-no. That's not very good. This one right here is probably okay because mobs can't really do that diagonal jump, so that would be just fine. And then, yeah, that's kind of where we're at with these ones right now. I really, really do love this pathway back here. I think I want to bring in a few little bits of lighting beyond here, and we got another pillager banner for ourselves. But like, imagine like a few fence posts and some lanterns and things dotted around here. Ooh, that's just going to be absolutely perfect. Maybe like a little bit of a fence lining right there. Oh, I am so ready for that. I got to do that real fast. This area over here is just so cool. I'm very, very happy that we decided to do this one today. I know it's going to wait off on it for a little while. I'm already getting prickled by some berry bushes, but oh man, this is absolutely amazing. Super, super excited for this one. We do want to add a bit of mob proofing out here with just a few lanterns, bringing back in that lighting vibe that we were talking about and doing maybe a little bit like this. And good to go right there. And then let's do another lantern right on that. Ooh, that is going to be absolutely perfect. I think we're going to call it here for today's episode, though. Thank you all so much for joining me. I hope you were all able to pick up a few useful things about lighting and things like that. If there's anything else that you want me to explain in further detail for that one, be sure to let me know that down in the comments below. Anyways, thank you all so much for watching. Please hit that like button if you did enjoy. It helps me out a ton here, and I really appreciate it. Hit that subscribe button if you're enjoying what you're seeing here and you're new, and I will catch you on the flip side.